Got the bad news for you guys. You need the most expensive Sony camera and a lot of different lenses on top of that to take good photos. Said absolutely no one who understands photography. And just for your reference, here are the few photos that were taken with iPhone. Yep, that little thing we use every day. So in this video, let's talk about 3 principles and kind of rules that can help you to produce higher quality and more creative photos, regardless of the equipment you're using and your current skill level. Tip number 1 that helps me during every photo shoot I do is using your surroundings. Let me explain. Here is the building of the barbershop that I recently took photos of. As you see, it is super nice, but when I stood in front of it and I pulled up my camera and take a photo of it, it just wasn't it and it didn't look very cool or interesting. So I looked around and I saw these nice bushes, kind of plants that I can use as an object in my composition. And I took these pictures. Immediately much better and more creative result, as you can see. Same with these photos from Pizza Expo Festival that we took in Las Vegas. I'm using my surroundings one more time, as you can see right here, to create a frame for the photo. So here is my rule of thumb when it comes to that. Look around and ask yourself a question. What composition can I set to make this photo more creative? Tip number 2, to get better pictures as a beginning photographer, think of the composition of the photo. If you're doing the photo shoot and every time you're positioning the main hero like dead center in the middle of the frame, the only thing that changes is just the facial expression or the position of the subject. Let's say that you want to take a nice picture of your friend on the cliff of the mountain. If your friend is Jeff Bezos, it might be worth to put it right in the center to highlight his persona and his importance. On the other hand, let's say you are taking the photo of yourself and you want to highlight the beauty of the nature around you. Then there is no reason to put you in a center then. What you can do instead is just turn the grid lines on your camera and position yourself on the right or on the left side. That way, the nature itself that you want to highlight will take the majority of the image and you will highlight it while still being on the image yourself. Now, this will require a little bit of time and effort to study this part of the photography. But even if you spend 10 minutes looking over different compositions that people use in the movies or etc., it can give you enough inspiration for your next photo shoot. There is a famous rule of third, using lines to guide viewers' attention, lower angle shots, higher angle shots, vertical and horizontal splits. You can literally just open the Google and type different compositions for photographers. After you find the right document for yourself with the examples that you want, just print this thing out or even save it on your phone, and next time when you're at the photo shoot and you are running out of ideas or simply want to try something new, you can always come back to this thing. I can't emphasize enough the importance of understanding and knowing how to work with your equipment. If you have a professional camera with customizable settings, you just have to know what they do and how to work with them. Or at least having the proper knowledge of the main triangle, as they call it: aperture, shutter speed, and exposure. If you're in a darker settings, it's important to understand that you need to level up your ISO to get the brighter image. If your image is getting too noisy because you're leveling up the ISO, well, then you can play with the aperture and shutter speed. Now, since this video is more for the beginner photographers, if these are the terms that you're hearing for the first time, there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely no lack of free information, free good information on YouTube that can help you to learn all of that stuff. When I first started, I watched 3 videos of Peter McKinnon, the idol of photography, about the basics of the camera. I think they were called Camera Basics. I'll put the thumbnails right here and leave the links in the description. Make sure you watch this video since it's literally gonna bring your camera knowledge from 0 to 1. And last tip, but not the least one, editing your photos. If you think that the stuff you see on Instagram or on internet comes up exactly looking like this just directly from the camera, well, let me debunk that myth for you. And a lot of times it's not even simple photo editing. They use photo manipulation. So they go to Photoshop and add a lot of elements. They add plane, they add stars, etc, etc. I mean, I'm doing it myself to make the photos look better sometimes. But that's not the point. Either you use simple photo editing or photo manipulation. The stuff that comes directly from your camera most likely not gonna look as professional as you would want to. So the editing, when you sit down at your computer and just play with some of the settings, is crucial to know this stuff to make your photos look better. I actually made 2 full videos about that. One is how to photo manipulate your images, and as you can see right here, these are like completely 2 different images. And the other video is how to just touch your photos a little bit in editing to make them look more cinematic without any crazy stuff. That being said, make sure you watch this video and make sure you consume a lot of videos about photo editing and photo manipulation, because I'm telling you, even if you mess up something during the photo shoot, there's a lot of stuff you can bring back during the photo editing. I mean, that's not the best way to do it, but it is the way to do it. Alright, there you have it guys. These were 3 principles and kind of basic tips for beginning photography. As I said, if you want to learn more, feel free to consume more of my videos or go to Peter McKinnon's page. I mean, he has tons of information that can help you out and I would highly recommend him. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more photography and videography tips and tricks, and I'll see you in the next one.